For this Friday afternoon. Are you ready for the weekend? I am. Hi, I'm Pugs Moran. I do this every Monday through Friday, noon till whenever. What is this show? Well, it's the first of two streams that we do. This one, the second one is Pillow Talk. We do Pillow Talk with myself and James Parker every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss it. Casual conversation between two people who disagree on just about everything. And yet we're still good friends. You can learn from us. I'm just saying. That show's Monday through Thursday. This one, Monday through Friday. This one is the show that I do by myself, and this one has a purpose. That the nighttime show, Pillow Talk, and not really a purpose. I mean, there's a purpose, but there's not, it's whatever happens. This show is, it's dictated by whatever is happening in the news of the day. This is a show about what's happening now. What's trending, what the headlines are, what are the hot topics, what are the headlines, what are the big news stories of the day, what's the buzz. I try and give it to you here in a nice little wrapped package so that if you listen to this show every day, maybe on your lunch break, you can get through pretty much all of the little things that people are buzzing about. Basically, the idea was, I don't want people coming up to me going, hey, did you hear about? And then me going, no, actually, I didn't hear about that. So what I'm doing is I've created this show Monday through Friday at noon right here. We call it High Noon, where I get us all prepped up. You're able to watch. This is really for my own personal edification. I don't ever like to be blindsided by, hey, did you hear about what happened with Kanye? Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, talked about it on the High Noon show. All right, you're all here. That's great. What else do I need to mention? My little side hustle, the mansplaining show with myself and Dr. Robert Schwartz. It's a sort of a reintroduction of what was once kind of known as the Love Line format. Myself and Dr. Schwartz, we take your calls all night long on 97.1 The Freak here in Dallas. We're doing it this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday. This weekend it's Saturday. I know it's been like Mondays and Fridays and all that. This weekend, the Mansplaining Show with yours truly, Pugs Moran and Dr. Robert Schwartz, will air on 97.1 The Freak on Saturday and Sunday evenings between 9 and 11. Okay. And then I think next week we go, you know what, let's not worry about next week. Let's just, this is a Saturday and a Sunday show for Mansplaining. All right, here's what we'd like to do. Hi, everybody. Hi, Leslie's here. Michael's here. The other Leslie. I hate that. It's not like one Leslie is Leslie and the other one is the other Leslie. We've got two Leslies. We've got Leslie C and Leslie G, who sometimes is Leslie M. It's complicated, but if you stick around long enough, you might start to understand it. Hi, Jen. Jen's here. Happy Friday, Jen. Joel's here. Joel is speaking another language. Joel says, hola. Michael's here. Byron's here. Who else is here? Is Jeff in here yet? Where's Jeff? Do we have Jeff yet? Can't be a day without Jeff. Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff. Jeff's here. Jeff was first in. That's why I missed him. All right, here's how this show works. What we do is we go through, there's a couple of different stages. The first stage is the history of the day. We talk about all the things that happened on this day, all the things that we might expect in the coming hours, just based on what has happened historically on this day. Then we go through some birthdays. We celebrate the births and the contributions and sometimes the shenanigans of individuals who were born unto this world on this day. Then we go into the deaths. Then we talk about some of the people who've died. We mourn the passings of those who have made our lives better, and also bad guys. If anyone of note who died on this day, who passed, we will either mourn for them or we will piss on their grave, whichever, doesn't matter. Sometimes bad people die. Bad people die every day. I just want to remind you of that. That really bothers me. I have known, I'm an old man. I have known a lot of people who have died over my days, and without fail, whenever someone dies, there's always somebody, oh, he was such a good person. And I'm telling you, like 50% of the times I've heard that, I've gone, no, he wasn't. He was a piece of shit. And you know what? Pieces of shit die all the time. But as James Parker pointed out last night when we were talking about Kanye West and the Nazis, people are complicated. Hitler was very good to his dog. Hitler loved his dog. Hitler's dog. If you were to interview Hitler's dog and go, was Hitler a bad guy? That dog would be like, no, man, Hitler's great. See, people are complicated. I'm not saying stop it. I am not saying Hitler's great. As a matter of fact, I'm saying bad people die all the time. What I'm saying is that we are all complicated, and that, you take the most evil man that's ever walked the earth, and I'm not saying that's Hitler. I don't know. He's one of them. He's certainly in the running. But you take the most evil man that's ever walked the earth, and I can find you at least one person who will say something good about him. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Hitler held the door open for a stranger once, and that stranger went, "Isn't that man nice?" That happened. I'm sure that at some point in Hitler's life that happened. Hitler. A lot of Hitler talk these days. All right, let's get into it. And then, I'm sorry, after we do the history and the birthdays in the mornings, then we get into the meat and potatoes of what this show, High Noon, is. And then we just start running through the topics. We start looking at the trends in the headlines, and I say, hey, here's a headline. And then I go, here's why it's a headline. And then I say, here's what I think of this headline. And then we move on. That's it. It's just boom, boom, boom. Topics. You don't like something I'm waxing poetic on? Just take a breath. Topic will change in a matter of seconds. I promise you, that's how this show does. We just keep it moving, and we try at the end of the stream to, have a pretty good understanding of what this day is. So let's get started on that. It is High Noon for the second day of December, year of our Lord, 2022. December 2nd is the 336th day of the year. There's only 29 days remaining till the end of the year. We're inside the month. We are solidly inside the final month of 2022. Say it with me. Get those New Year's Eve plans started. On this day in 1804, at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, Napoleon Bonaparte crowns himself Emperor of the French. Crowned himself. You crowned yourself. Who do you think you are, Charlemagne? Charlemagne's the one that crowned himself. You are not a Carolingian. You are a Bonaparte. You. But that's pretty cool. That's a pimp move. If I was ever to be crowned emperor by a pope, I would do the Charlemagne move. And I guess the Napoleon move, which is as the pope is putting the crown upon your head, you take it out of his hands. You go, nope, I'm crowning myself. That's what Charlemagne did. That was his big badass move. On this day in 1823, the Monroe Doctrine. Quickly, what is the Monroe Doctrine? Do you know? I know we learned about it in school, but do you know what it is? It's basically it's the thing that says we don't do it. It's not something, we probably stuck to the Monroe Doctrine for like 30, 40 years. But we didn't stick to it. Yeah. The Monroe Doctrine basically says we minds our own business in this country. We don't get involved in your European wars. We don't get involved. Here's the deal. This is what the Monroe Doctrine basically says. I don't give a shit about what's going on between Poland and Germany. We don't give a shit about what's going on between England and France. We ain't getting involved. We're all the way over here. And because we ain't getting involved, we expect you people to keep your nose out of our business. That's basically the Monroe Doctrine. And, a couple world wars later, we don't really adhere to it, but hey, whatever. It was a thing. It was a defining moment in United States history on this day in 1823. On this day in 1845, Manifest Destiny. Oh, another one. The Monroe Doctrine and Manifest Destiny. In a State of the Union message, U.S. President James K. Polk proposes that the United States should aggressively expand into the West. We did that one. Mission accomplished. Nice job. On this day in 1859, militant abolitionist leader John Brown is hanged for his October 16th raid on Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. I know that John Brown was a historical figure, but I wasn't really all that familiar. I knew he was an abolitionist, but I wasn't really all that familiar with John Brown's story as it pertains to America's larger history. There was a mini series, I think it was The Good Lord Bird. It was on Showtime. It was a mini series about John Brown and his abolitionist ways, and it's really good. It was fascinating. I was like, man, I didn't know any of this stuff happened in this country. So there you go. The Good Lord Bird. You can learn all about John Brown. He was hanged. He was hanged on this day in 1859. In 1942, he freed a bunch of slaves. They hung him for it. 1942, let's jump forward, shall we? 1942, during World War II, during the Manhattan Project, a team led by Enrico Fermi initiates the first artificial self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. That happened on this day in 1942, and I got a fun fact about this. So, the waste. So the Manhattan Project. Oddly, the Manhattan Project was done at the University of Chicago, not at the Manhattan Project, not in Manhattan. And Enrico Fermi was in charge of all that stuff there at the University of Chicago. He was one of the world's great physicists, and anyway, you know who Fermi is. And they built, after they did this in Chicago, they built a place called the Argonne National Laboratories, which is out in the southwestern suburbs of Chicago, out in the woods. At the time they built it, it was secluded. It was in the middle of the woods. And in the woods that surround this national laboratory, they just buried the Manhattan Project. They just took all of the waste, they dug a hole in the woods, and they put it in a hole, and they put a big heavy piece of rock on top of it and a plaque that says, "On this spot is buried." This is in the Redgate Woods. When I was living back in Chicago, I used to run in the Redgate Woods, and one time I went off the path and I followed the little markers. They tell you, they're like, "Hey, you want to see where the Manhattan Project's buried?" And you can just like go walk through the woods a little bit, and then you get to this spot. It's so random. It's like, you're in some dense woods. I mean, you're like really, you can't hear cars or anything. I mean, you're in the middle of the deep Great Lakes forests. And then out of nowhere, there's just like this thing that's like, it's like a pretty important thing. And I also thought, they know what they were doing back then. Like, they buried this thing out here in like the 1950s. Like, did they know how to, like, I'm out here running, enjoying the woods. And then anyway, it was on this day, the Manhattan Project. Team led by Enrico Fermi initiates the first artificial self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. Redgate Woods, Lamont, Illinois. Go ahead, check it out. It's so weird. It's like you're just out there jogging, you're running, moms are pushing babies, and then, oh yeah, there's like some like really historic nuclear waste right there. You want to go look at it? Go ahead, bring the baby carriage up real close. On this day in, what was it? Did I miss one? No, I didn't miss one. On this day in 1954, during the Cold War, this is an interesting one. On this day in 1954, during the Cold War, the United States Senate votes 65-22 to censure Republican Senator Joseph McCarthy for conduct that tends to bring the Senate into dishonor and disrepute. This was a beautiful thing. Because Joe McCarthy was a lunatic. Joe McCarthy died of a brain tumor. He had brain cancer. He was like going a little bit wacky. There was he wasn't in the right mind. And I don't know if medical science didn't really, whatever. He was a lunatic. He was really sort of like we see his type now without saying who there, but we see his type now. In the United States Congress, be it in the upper or lower chamber, it doesn't matter. There are Joe McCarthy types. But what was beautiful about this is bipartisan. It was bipartisan. Like, dude was a Republican, and he was a whack job, and he was saying all kinds of crazy things, and the Democrats were like, hey, he's saying all kinds of fucked up crazy things. We just going to let him do that? And guess what the Republicans did? The Republicans went, he's saying some fucked up crazy things. We need to get him out. That would never happen today. There is no honor anymore. There is no honor among thieves. I guess that's what we learned. All right. On this day, bipartisan United States Congress got rid of GOP Senator Joe McCarthy from the great state of Wisconsin. And I do say that, the great state of Wisconsin. I do like Wisconsin. And that's hard for me to say because it's Packers week. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm a Bear fan. Packers week is our Super Bowl. I mean, we play them twice a year. The one up in Lambeau, that's not our Super Bowl. The one in Soldier Field is our Super Bowl, especially this year. Let's see here. What else do we have? In 1970, the United States Environmental Protection Agency begins operation. The EPA, that big old liberal left wing started by Republicans. That's right. EPA, you complain about the EPA, Republicans. You guys started it. That's right. You did. People don't know know that. People don't know Nixon was a big environmentalist. The Republicans used to care about shit. And the Democrats used to care about important shit. Now it's just like all. Republicans don't seem to care about anything, and the Democrats seem to only care about really fucking stupid, time-wasting bullshit. That's what we're dealing with here with our two-party system. Enjoy it. Let's see here. What else do we have? On this day in 1988, Benazir Bhutto is sworn in as Prime Minister of Pakistan, becoming the first woman to head the government of a Muslim-majority state. Same time, 1988. 1988, them backward-ass Muslims, right? Isn't that how we look at them? Them backward-ass Muslims, they're electing a woman to rule them in 1988. Overwhelmingly, too. She was popular, Benazir Bhutto. I mean, they killed her, but she was popular. She was elected in 1988. Very same time, folks. Same time in America. We had Geraldine Ferraro running for vice president, and the conversation was, will her period affect her ability to... Dude, she's not having her period anymore. That woman's in menopause. Can a woman... Very same time, the backward-ass Muslim Pakistanis are electing an incredibly bright woman to run their country. We're arguing about whether or not 55-year-old Geraldine Ferraro is going to be affected by her period. She's not having her period at 55. Probably. I don't know. As we've established, I don't know dick all about women's stuff, but it seems that's a little bit old to be concerned about that. Anyway, on this day in 1993, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar is shot and killed in Medellin. You want to pronounce that Medellin, because we're Americans, but it's Medellin. Again, complicated relationship with Pablo Escobar. On the one hand, I know that he was a brutal monster. On the other hand, I've seen so many depictions of him in television movies. I think he's cool. I think he's cool. As far as monsters go, he seemed like a cool one. I don't know. Never killed me. I was never in the drug game. So, let's see here. In 2001, Enron files for Chapter 1 bankruptcy. Every now and again, it's not like any kind of set schedule, but every now and again, I need to rewatch Smartest Guys in the Room. I don't know if you've ever seen Smartest Guys in the Room. Smartest Guys in the Room is a documentary about Enron. It's a documentary about what them fucks did. In every couple of, I don't know if it's a couple of years, whatever. Every once in a while, I have to watch that to remind myself of what goes on, that we have no idea what is going on between people that we put in positions of not necessarily power, but certainly great influence. We need our energy, okay? Look, a lot of people know I'm very anti-corporate, right? I'm very anti-behemoth. I'm very anti-1%. See Enron. Watch Smartest Guys in the Room, and you tell me that you don't come away going, fuck these people. Are you kidding me? They were joking about old elderly women dying from extreme heat. They were joking about that. They got it on tape. You can listen to these Enron motherfuckers joking about how, well, who cares if a bunch of grannies die in California? Let's pull their power. And again, pulling their power, not because they didn't pay for it. They're all paid up. They just pulled the power because Enron bit off more than they could chew and decided to keep cashing the checks even though they couldn't provide the power in the way they promised. Seriously, Smartest Guys in the Room. One of the best documentaries I've ever seen. It's up there. It is up there with Kurt and Courtney. If you've never seen the Kurt and Courtney documentary, that's great. That's another great one. All right, that's going to do it, I think, as far as big events. Oh, no. Okay, here in 2020, just 2 years ago, here's a big one. Cannabis, ladies and gentlemen, is finally removed from the list of most dangerous drugs by the International Drug Control Treaty. It's a big deal. The UN finally said, yeah, weed ain't the same as heroin. We're gonna write that down just so that in the future, if anybody thinks that we here in 2020, because that's when this was done, believe that heroin and weed were the same thing, we're just gonna make it official. So there you go. And that was a very, very big deal because as long as the United Nations viewed cannabis as being the same as methamphetamine, hardcore opiates, as long as they viewed it that way, it made it difficult for other governments around the world to really look at cannabis, to really kind of study it and go, is it as bad as they say? So as soon as they pulled that away, as soon as the UN went, yeah, it's not that bad. We've been silly these past 50 years pretending like putting people in jail for life for weed at the same rate we're putting coke smugglers in jail. I mean, it's crazy. It was crazy. So that's a big deal. On this day in 2020, cannabis is removed from the most dangerous drugs list by the United Nations. How about some birthdays? All right, let's get into some birthdays. Here's some people who were born on this day. Born on this day in 1939, Harry Reid. Harry Reid was a longtime senator from Nevada, right? Yeah, he was from Nevada. I don't know a lot about Harry Reid. He was caught up in a lot of the muck a lot of times. His politics, I'm not all that familiar with. But let me tell you something I do know about Harry Reid that I like. Weed. He was pro-weed legalization. Aliens. He believed that there were aliens because he was in Nevada. You know, he had Area 51 in his backyard. He's like, we need to know. Let's open up Area 50. So I kind of like those things about Harry Reid. He died, what? Oh, he died in 2021. He died recently. Yeah, I was going to say it had to have been recently because it seems like he was just... Man, Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell looked like twins. Did you ever see those two dudes standing next to each other? It's like Turtle 1, Turtle 2. It's born on this day in 1945, American film director Penelope Spheris. Penelope Spheris. What does she do? What's she famous for? She broke onto the scene in the early 80s with The Decline of Western Civilization, which was a documentary about the punk rock scene in Los Angeles in the early 1980s. Really good. She followed that up with The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, which I think came out in like 88, 89. Decline of Western Civilization Part 2 is about the metal scene on the Sunset Strip in the 1980s. Both of these movies are fascinating documentaries. Both of them are great. That's how she became famous. Then she used that, and I think, didn't she direct the Wayne's World movies? I mean, she's directed a bunch of movies. She's directed a bunch, but I think most famous outside of the two really good docs that she made, I think it's the Wayne's World movies. No, or was that Jay Roach? No, wait, Jay Roach was Austin Powers. Like, I don't know, whatever. Look her up, Penelope Spheris. She's done stuff. Born on this day in 1956, Stephen Bauer. Do you know who Stephen Bauer is? I know the name. Like if somebody said, hey, it's got Stephen Bauer in that movie, I'll go, Stephen Bauer, that's an actor, but I can't picture him. And you know why I can't picture him? Because who Stephen Bauer is, like when I see a picture of Stephen Bauer, I go, I know that dude. That's Manny from Scarface. Stephen Bauer has made a career the past 40 years playing Cubans, Central Americans, Mexican drug lords, all of these characters. He has made a career playing all of these very ethnically based characters. And his name is Stephen Bauer. It's like, that's why I don't I'm like, what? Oh, that's right. That guy's got a white dude name. That dude's got a name like he was born in Kansas. He looks like Manny from Scarface. Remember Manny? Tony Soprano's right-hand guy. Tony Soprano's best buddy. Tony Montana's partner. You know? Manny. The dude's name is Stephen Bauer. That's why I'm like, that's not a Stephen Bauer. That's an Esteban Ramirez. That's who that is. That guy, if that dude's name was Esteban Ramirez, I'd be like, Esteban Ramirez is a fucking good actor. I'd be like that. But it's not. His name's Stephen Bauer. So I picture a blonde dude with glasses. You know, it's just not. Born on this day in 1968, Lucy Liu. She's got a little something. She's got something. I don't know what it is. But I like Lucy Liu. There's something. She did something where she wore leather from head to toe. And whenever I picture Lucy Liu, I'm like, man, look at that 6-foot Chinese girl dressed in leather. That's pretty good. She's pretty good. Born on this day in 1968, Lucy Liu. Born on this day in 1973, Monica Seles. At one point, she was greatest tennis player of all time, greatest female tennis player of all time. Monica Seles. Woo, couldn't be beat. Remember she got stabbed? She got stabbed. How crazy was that? She had a stalker fan. She was playing a tennis match. I don't know if that's how tennis sounds. I don't watch a lot of tennis, but you know what I'm saying? She's playing a tennis match, and she goes to take a break, and she sits down on the bench, and some lunatic comes running down the stands with a knife, and he just stabs Monica Seles in the back. It's crazy. Never saw anything like that. I was like, what? That can happen? All right, it did. It happened. Happy birthday to you, Monica Seles. I hope you're all healed up. I'm sure you are. That was years ago. Born on this day in 1978, Nelly Furtado. One-hit wonder, Nelly Furtado, right? That's pretty much it. I am like a bird, I want to fly away. Right? Isn't that her song? Isn't that it? All right. Happy birthday, Nelly Furtado. We're gonna push Nelly Furtado to the back burner because we got a big birthday to celebrate, lady and gentlemen. It's Britney Spears' birthday. Britney Spears, born on this day in 1981. What's Britney been getting in? What's she been getting up to? Showing her cooch on Instagram. That's like pretty much ever since she got out of her conservatorship. That's basically what she's doing, right? You just like dirty pictures on Instagram. No, I don't want to see them. You know, I mean, sexy pictures of Britney Spears in 2002. Sign me up. Sexy pictures of Britney Spears in 2022. You guys know I've look, like when we talk about Madonna, like what's my big complaint on Madonna? My big complaint on Madonna is that she's not aging gracefully. She's not. Madonna was a sex symbol. Madonna was a beautiful woman, a trendsetter, influenced the way a lot of women behave, especially Gen X women. Madonna got that Madonna attitude. But she's like 100 now. And she's still running, Madonna, she's still running around like she's 25 years old. You know, she's still trying to be like, oh, don't you want this? And it's like, no, I actually do not. That is not what I want, Mo. Thank you. So my complaint against her is that she's not aging well. And a lot of other, you know, women of her group, her age, her class, her profession, are aging well, you know? I'll give you an example. I saw Cyndi Lauper on one of those Watch What Happens Live clips. And I don't know, maybe it was a year or two old. Cyndi Lauper looks great. Cyndi Lauper looks like she's, she's aging. Helen Mirren is the gold standard of aging appropriately. Helen Mirren is like 80 years old and still hot. Why? Because she's glamorous. She's elegant. She has matured to a point where she's now stately, as opposed to interesting. You know what I mean? Like Madonna's still trying to be interesting. And it's like, you don't have to be interesting anymore. You're established. We know your backstory. Now give us something new. Impress us. On this Britney Spears birthday, I fear that Britney Spears is doing the exact same stuff that Madonna's doing. Britney's what, 40? She was born on this day in 81. So what's she, 42? 42 is not old. 42 is not old at all. 42, there are gorgeous 42-year-old women. They're just not on Instagram with pasties going, it's like, stop it. Stop it. You have kids. You have kids that are old enough that their friends are going to, anyway. Nothing but love for you, Brittany. Nothing but love. I hope you get your shit together. But how about a nice pantsuit? How about that? How about a blouse? How about a nice pencil skirt? Something, Brittany. Come on, you don't always have to look like you're waiting for your shift at the strip club. That is not something that you need. All right, moving on. Happy birthday. I can't even bring myself to say it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Aaron. I can't even say it. Happy birthday, Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers' birthday. Fucking hate that guy. Seriously, hate that guy. Hate that guy with every ounce of my being. Aaron Rodgers seems like a cool... Hey, want to prove to me that you're not a cool guy? Say to me, Aaron Rodgers seems like a cool guy. Don't... No, he doesn't. Aaron Rodgers seems like a self-involved prima donna elitist weirdo bitch. Go get out in the woods and hug some trees, you weirdo. He is such a... Okay, granted, I'm a Chicago Bear fan, and he's the Packers quarterback, and we all know that there's some built-in history there. But I didn't hate Brett Favre in the way that I hate Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I hate Brett Favre now in the way that I hate Aaron. Brett Favre has revealed himself to be something terrible. But at least in the playing days, like Brett Favre, I'm like, oh, you can't stop that. You know, what are we going to do? What are we going to roll Eric Kramer out here as a Chicago Bear quarterback? Who we got? Rex Grossman going up against Brett Favre? Nothing you can do about it. But with Aaron Rodgers, there is just an arrogance and there is a condescension. There is an elitism. It's like, dude, shut up. So happy birthday, Aaron Rodgers. It is Packer week. It's our Super Bowl week. This is what I mentioned earlier. It is Chicago Bears at home taking on the Green Bay Packers. This happens once a year. And you have to understand it's very complicated for me as a Bears fan because the goal for all us right-thinking Bear fans is that we need to lose out. We're trying to lose since like 5 weeks ago. I mean, certainly Justin Fields has begun to flash, and we're very happy about that. That's all we wanted from this season. All we wanted from this football season was to see growth in our quarterback. Let's check that box. Boom, we got that. We got our quarterback. We knew we had no talent. I mean, we knew in the last 10 months, we have lost from this team. Allen Robinson, our number one receiver, Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, Akeem Hicks, Roquan. I mean, come on, man. I mean, we've just lost. They got rid of the entire team. They cut the budget. We're going into next season with a historic amount of salary cap space. $150 million Chicago Bears are going to have in salary cap space. Plus, we got like 12 picks, right? So we're gonna restock. So this season was all about, do we have a quarterback or do we need to use our first round pick on a quarterback? All right, check. We don't need a quarterback. We need Will Anderson, edge rusher from Alabama. That's who we want with our first pick. So we knew the season was going to suck, and we knew that, we just needed to see our quarterback. We needed to see our quarterback situation. So here's the dilemma. We need to lose, man. We need to maintain the second overall pick. We know we're not going to catch the Houston Texans. We know that the Texans are probably going to get the number one overall pick in the draft. It'd be nice if we could get it. If we lose out, though, we probably won't get it. But here's the problem for most of us Bear fans. We know we need to lose out for draft position. We know that with the number 2 pick in the draft, we can then trade that number 2. We can trade back. We can take the number 2 pick in the draft, trade it to somebody who wants CJ Stroud or somebody who wants Bryce Young. Whichever one of those quarterbacks doesn't go number 1, a team going to need a quarterback, and they're going to want him at number 2, and we're sitting at number 2, and we ain't taking a quarterback. So what we'll do is we'll trade with you. So that's what we're trying to do. Never mind. I'm not doing sports talk. But the point is, it's Packers week, and I'm very preoccupied with the confusion of, man, we need to lose all these games. We need to lose every single game. We need to protect our draft position. We need our quarterback to ball out. We need to lose games 37-35. That's what we're looking at. That's what Bear fans want. Lose the game 37-35. Let the offense ball out and the defense just whatever. The defense is going to give up 40 points a game because we're not even putting a defense out there. So we need to lose out. But we also so desperately want to beat the Packers. This could be the last time we see Aaron Rodgers. Who knows what he's going to be? Jordan Love might start balling out, and they might trade Aaron Rodgers. Hell, Aaron Rodgers could be the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts next year. Who knows? But we need to lose out to protect our draft position. But at the same time, we really want to win on Sunday. I don't know, whatever. Happy birthday, Aaron Rodgers, I guess. Happy birthday to you, Aaron Rodgers. Born on this day in 1991, Charlie Puth. Don't know who he is, but I know he's a famous guy. Born on this day in 1998, Juice WRLD, American rapper, singer, and songwriter. All right, fun fact about Juice WRLD, although it's not so fun, especially if you love Juice WRLD. Look, I'm going to be honest. The only reason I know who Juice WRLD is, because my 13-year-old son likes him. My 13-year-old son, I love Juice WRLD. It turns out, come to find, Juice WRLD was raised like a town over from me. Yeah, Juice WRLD is from Harvey, Illinois. Look at that, Harvey, Illinois, Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD is interesting because he was a young rapper, and he died. But he died in such an unnecessary way. Well, I mean, I suppose you could say that about any rock star, rap star, whatever, who dies way too young. But this was really unnecessary. Juice World was on his private jet. Yeah, that's right. A rap star you've never heard of has a private jet. He was on his private jet flying from Los Angeles back home to Chicago, where he's from. And he landed, and the police were waiting for him. The police had been tipped off. The ATF had been tipped off that there were a bunch of illegal guns on the plane from Los Angeles to Chicago. So the plane landed, and they wouldn't let the police on, and Juice World thought they were looking for drugs. So Juice World did like 50 Percocet. He had like 50 Percocet that he didn't want to get busted for. So while the police were outside surrounding the Learjet, he ingested all the Percocet that he had. They let the cops on the plane. The cops start looking for the guns and all this kind of stuff. And Juice World dies right there in front. The cops weren't even looking for drugs. They weren't even looking for him. They were looking for guns. And Juice World took all the drugs and died. Happy birthday, Juice World. It would have been your what? 24th birthday. Would have been 24. He died in 2019. Let's do some deaths. All right. So here are some of the people who have passed on this day, December the 2nd. Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford died on this day in 1957. Yeah. Did you know there was another actor named Harrison Ford? Harrison Ford the first, no relation. Harrison Ford, the actor, was born in 1884. He died on this day in 1957. Didn't even know that. Born on this day dead on this day in 1982, Marty Feldman. You guys remember Marty Feldman? Marty Feldman was in, what's the Mel Brooks Frankenstein movie? I don't know what it's called. Is it called Mel Brooks Frankenstein? It might be. I don't know, whatever. But he was like Igor. He was always the weird guy. Marty Feldman had an eye disease, which caused his eyeballs to pop out of his sockets, which typically would mean, you get a job in a coal mine. Typically that means you get a job somewhere away from civilized society because nobody wants to deal with you. Not Marty Feldman. Marty Feldman became a big-time movie actor. You look at Marty Feldman 1960s. Go look at pictures. Go Bing search or Google search, whatever you use. Marty Feldman 1960s. This dude was ugly. This dude had like these big bulgy eyes. And yet you look at him in the 1960s and he was like a celebrity in swinging London, the Austin Powers thing. He was there with his scarves and his wide lapels, and he's got babes on each arm, and his giant eyes are bugging out. Dead on this day in 1982, Marty Feldman. Life handed him lemons, and he turned into a famous actor. Born on this day in 1980, or dead on this day in 1986, Desi Arnaz, Cuban-American actor, singer, businessman, television producer, slept with Lucy for a whole bunch of years, gave her a couple of kids, and is later in life now, I think now, people are starting to give Desi Arnaz the credit that he deserved. It's a weird situation because typically when you have a man and a woman situation, and so you got a husband and wife, like take George Burns and Gracie Allen, right? Right. Like it was obvious to everyone that George Burns was in charge of that act, that George Burns was the guy who was the boss of the Burns and Allen act. And Gracie Allen was his wife. That wasn't the case with Lucy. With Lucy and Desi, everybody just assumed that Lucy was in charge because, which is odd in the 1960s to look at a man and a woman and have everybody go, nah, the woman's the boss, right? That was a weird sort of juxtaposition. And everybody just thought that because Lucy was the big TV star. Desi Arnaz, basically, here's my point. Desi Arnaz never got credit for being the genius businessman that he was. And he was an absolute genius. And it was because he was Latin. It was because he wasn't a white man. And they went, oh boy, Desilu Studios is like a juggernaut in the entertainment industry here in 1967. Wow, that Lucy is a genius. And that's pretty much how it went. And it's only been in later years that people have sort of revisited this and gone, it's time to start giving Desi Arnaz some credit. He invented syndication. He invented like all kinds of ways to film the Lucy show. And not just the Lucy show, all the Desilu shows. This dude, Desi Arnaz, at one point was the executive producer of like 10 of the top 10 most watched television shows in America. And he never really got his credit. He was always sort of just marginalized as, the Latino bongo playing Babalu guy, right? No. Well, Lucy must be a genius. She must be. Lucy didn't do any of that shit. Lucy just stayed home and rehearsed and, did actress shit. It was Desi Arnaz who was, wearing the suits in the boardrooms with the sponsors and the networks and, making sure that, Green Acres became a TV show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was Desi Arnaz was a badass. And I'm glad to see that people are finally starting to recognize that. Another badass, I don't know. Pablo Escobar died on this day in 1993. As I said before, very complicated relationship with Pablo Escobar. We covered it in the news events of the day. He was killed on this day. I think yesterday was his birthday. Didn't we mention him yesterday? Didn't he die the day of? Maybe he died the day of his birthday. I don't know. I could check that out. Dead on this day in 1955, Roxy Roker. Helen Willis from the Jeffersons. Roxy Roker. Lenny Kravitz's mom. Mother of Lenny Kravitz. Grandma of Zoe Kravitz, Roxy Roker from the Jeffersons. She played Helen Willis. Helen and Tom Willis, they were the neighbor. They were the very controversial interracial couple that lived next door to the Jeffersons. Roxy Roker, dead on this day in 1995. All right, here we go. Let's get into some of the meat and potatoes of today. Do you feel like we understand what December 2nd is represented throughout history? We've gone through the history of the day. We've gone through the births. We've gone through the deaths. Are you ready to move forward? Sip of coffee and I will be. Oh, man, it's 12:45 already. Okay. All right, I got a lot to do. Today. We got a lot to get to on this show, so let's jump right in. Jobs. That's what's trending. Jobs. The jobs report came out, and apparently it is really good. The jobs report, U.S. hiring stays strong, complicating Fed's inflation fight. I don't care about jobs. I do care about jobs. In the larger picture, of course, I care about jobs. What I care about is that generic soda at Kroger went from 80 cents a 2-liter bottle to $1.30 a 2-liter. That's what I care about. And I think that's what you and I care about. So tell me about jobs. Tell me about how everything's going great. But can we get these prices back down? 8 ounces of cheese, $3. 8 ounces of shredded cheese. 8 ounces of shredded cheese, $3. Used to be like $2.30. Washington, Dateline. Washington. The nation's employers keep hiring briskly in November, despite high inflation and a slow-growing economy, a sign of resilience in the face of the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest hikes. The economy added 263,000 jobs. Well, okay, whatever. Apparently the jobs report was good. I'm not going to break it down. That's not what we do here. This is interesting. Okay, so this is trending. I won't tell you who's trending because it's a bit of a game, because it's kind of shocking. So, okay, the person who said this is trending at the moment, and we don't do divisive politics, but I just want to do this because it's trending. It's trending across all platforms, but it's also it's kind of divisive. Kinda, just because if you're a triggered bitch, it's going to be kind of divisive. But it's not. It's bipartisan. It's actually what we're looking for. It is bipartisan. It is something. Okay, but because it's bipartisan, it will be seen as divisive, which is, just the world we live in. So tell me, who said this? Who said this? Quit underestimating President Biden. Conservatives' hostility to the Biden administration tends to blind us to just how effective Biden has been in his term. President Biden has carefully and cautiously waged war in the Ukraine with no American troops. He just had one of the best first term of year elections in history. We must stop underestimating President Biden. Who said that? Who said that? Because the dude is trending. No one can believe he said that. Ladies and gentlemen, Newt Gingrich said that in a column that ran this morning. Newt Gingrich. Quit underestimating President Biden. Hostility to the Biden administration tends to blind us to just how effective he has been in his first term. That I love a little bipartisan. Now, granted, it's bipartisan, but it's also designed to gin up the forces, right? To like be like, look, this guy. There's a lot of people in America who are not on, Newsmax 24 hours a day. There's a lot of people in America, certainly all of those people on the left, and obviously by the midterms, all of the independents. And what's most worrying is the young people who are first-time voters. Those people are not in the echo chamber of, he's a child molester with a crackhead son. That's the echo chamber. What Gingrich is trying to tell the rest of conservative voters, stop it. Stop it. This is an echo chamber that we have created, and it's not out there. Look at the midterms. People are not as pissed off as we Newsmax viewers are. I think this is good. This is good because at least Gingrich is pleading with his party to just, operate in reality. Stop with all the mudslinging. Stop with all of the nonsense, because what we need to do, and this is truly what the conservatives need to do. The conservatives need to connect with people like me, people who are in the middle, people who are independents. And right now, they ain't doing it. I'm sorry. It ain't happening with all of the weirdness. It's not. Just be honest about shit. Stop it. Gingrich, look at that. Gingrich. I'm sure he's going to be torched on all of the Fox Newses and all that kind of stuff. But it is a warning. I mean, the midterm should have been a warning to conservatives in America. And there are a lot of really good, well-intended conservatives in this country. And the message I think that Gingrich is putting out there is stop it. Stop it with the weirdness. Stop it. Live in the real world. Kanye is trending again. Kanye, look, I'm not a big supporter of Biden. Trust me. I'm not going to vote for some 80-year-old guy. I'm not going to do it. I don't care if he's on. I'll write somebody in. I will never vote for somebody over the age of 75 again. Never. That's just never going to be something I'm ever going to do for president of the United States. I do not want nothing to get. Look, it's not about. You just don't like old people. Oh my God, I love old people. That's not what it's about. What it's about is I just don't think that old people have the same life experience that the average 35-year-old is having today. Okay? I think that somebody who is in charge of the United States of America ought to be somebody who, I don't know, maybe has a Twitter account. Maybe somebody who's on Instagram. Maybe somebody who understands how the modern world is communicating and get around. And I just don't see that from any of the people that have been. Kanye's trending. Kanye's trending for a bunch of reasons. He's running for president in 2024. Not going to vote for Kanye either. Although I might. Actually, that would be a fun protest vote. Just let's make Kanye president. See what happens. Whatever. I don't care. No, here's what I can tell you. In my entire life, no president, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter if it's Carter, Ford, Reagan, it doesn't matter. Obama, Trump, doesn't matter. No president has ever affected my day-to-day life to a degree where I'm like, I blame this guy. It's just not something that's ever happened. Now, I know that in the extended universe, yes, the president makes decisions that, in the greater view of things affects us, right? But every day, it's like my power never went out and I went, fucking president. You know what I mean? So whatever. I'm voting for Kanye. Kanye is trending, though, because he is voting for. Not an anti-Semite. My vote for Kanye is a joke. So stop it. Stop it. It's a protest vote. Maybe we won't even do it. And how's that going to work with write-ins? Because what is the legally recognized name of Kanye? Is it Kanye? Is it Kanye West? Is it Ye? I don't know. What if I write in the wrong name? He's been suspended from Twitter again. Elon Musk has suspended Kanye West from Twitter. Depending on who you hear it from, it's either permanent or it's temporary under review. I don't know. Elon Musk says that Twitter has suspended rapper Ye over swastika post. Kanye woke up this morning and just tweeted a swastika. That's it. Just a swastika. I think there were some images of the Star of David in there too. I didn't see it. I didn't see it because I don't care. But anybody who thinks that, well, maybe Kanye just misspoke yesterday on Alex Jones. There it is. First thing in the morning. Good morning, America. And Kanye just tweets a giant swastika. So Musk got rid of him. First Amendment. Oh, shut up. Twitter has suspended rapper Ye after he tweeted a picture of a swastika. It is the second time this year that Ye has been suspended from the platform over anti-Semitic posts. Twitter CEO Elon Musk confirmed the suspension by replying to Ye's post of an unflattering photo of Musk. Ye called it his final tweet. I don't know what that means. So I guess what? Elon Musk says, I tried my best. Despite that, he again violated our rule against incitement to violence. The account will be suspended, Musk tweeted in response to Kanye. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has made a series of anti-Semitic... Yeah, we all know. All right, we don't need to go any more of that. No, maybe Kanye, maybe he just misspoke. Maybe he's coming from a different place and we're just not interpreting what he's saying. Good morning, America. Here's a swastika from your friend Kanye. He ain't hiding it, folks. He's not hiding it. Just stop it. Stop it. Oh, you know what? And a lot of you red hat people who don't know dick about Kanye West, who don't know dick about hip hop music, suddenly you got a favorite rap guy, right? The last couple of months? All right, back off that. Fucking people, come on, back off that. Yes, he likes Trump, okay? So if you're a Trump guy, just because somebody likes Trump doesn't mean that you need to be completely in rank with that guy, okay? He likes Trump. He's also a lunatic, okay? Find me a normal, you know who seems like a fairly normal person? I'll tell you who seems like a fairly normal person. And this is going to piss off a lot of people on the left. Fairly normal person. Scott Baio. Scott Baio likes Trump. He seems like a fairly normal person. He's got a little bit of an edge to him and he's got some, far-right views and all that stuff. But so what? So what? He seems like a fairly decent person. You want to follow a celebrity? Follow Scott Baio, not Kanye West. And I'm not even saying that I agree with Scott. I'm just saying, Scott Baio ain't tweeting. If the people in the red hat corner, if they are so desperate for a celebrity of some, if they're tired of the James Woodses, the Kevin Sorbos, and you're just so desperate to have some celebrity, don't make it be Kanye, guys. Seriously, don't make it be Kanye. The dude has a history, at least 10 years, of being a fucking whack job. Scott Baio is sitting right there. Get behind Scott Baio. Get behind James Woods. Get behind any of these people, right? But not Kanye. Be smart. Here's a picture. Hey, the Kanye was... This is another fun one. Oh, I don't have it pulled up. I thought I had it pulled up. I apologize. We'll get it for you right here in a second. There's a picture of Kanye. Kanye went to a sushi restaurant. He's just like all sad by himself. Went to a sushi restaurant because he wanted sushi. And he sat in the sushi restaurant, and I guess somebody there saw him, and they got a picture of him at the sushi restaurant. But here, let me show you this picture of Kanye. What a dick he is. Because there's a kid there. There's a kid taking a picture with Kanye, right? Now, to this kid, here, I'll pull it. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up and then I'll describe it to you. Okay. This all went down in Frederick, Maryland. Frederick, Maryland, at a sushi restaurant. So look at this. So this kid sees Kanye, and maybe the kid doesn't know about politics, and that's fine. I think it's okay for kids to still be excited to see a hip-hop star that they like. All right, so here's the picture. Here's the picture of Kanye at a sushi restaurant in Frederick, Maryland. Now, this fucking guy. Look at this girl. This is like one of the most exciting moments of her life. She is going to dine out on the story of the time she met Kanye West for years. This woman's going to be 70 years old, and she's going to be like, I once saw Kanye. Like, this is a big moment for her, and she's excited. Look at this MFer. Look at Kanye. Can't crack a smile. Can't even give an ounce of kindness. Now, I know that his life has been a Actually, I don't know, because he's like, his life might actually be, with all of this turmoil going on around him, he might actually be like, this is great. I don't know. But look at him. This son of a bitch. This son of a bitch. A fan comes up. She's all excited. Meet her energy. That's what you got to do. When you meet people, I don't care who you are, if they're excited to see you, meet their energy back. Otherwise, you're just a dick. You're just a dick. All right, so that's it. That's Kanye. That's going to be the Kanye stuff for today, because honestly, I can't go more with this guy. Although, who knows? He's probably going to do something this afternoon. Rogue wave. Rogue wave is trending. A rogue wave hit a cruise ship. Oh my God, you guys. Don't even get me started on cruise ships. We are so fucking cruise ships. I don't ever want to go to a cruise ship. Don't ever want to go on a cruise ship. Never. Don't invite me on a cruise ship. If it's free, like if it's through like a job or something, and they're like, hey, you want to go on this cruise? And then I'd be like, whatever. What's it pay me? You could pay me to go on a cruise. I guess that's what I'm saying. You could pay me to go on a cruise. I wouldn't pay to go on a cruise. Let me get this straight. I'm going to get on this boat, which is essentially just a floating mid-tier hotel resort, and I'm not allowed to ever leave the hotel. That's what it is. You're on a cruise. A cruise is just, you're at a hotel and you're not allowed to leave the hotel. What are you talking about? They pull into ports. Yeah, like once every 3 days or something. I don't know how it works. It doesn't seem fun. The food, you can eat all you want. Yeah, you can lose your intestines too, because there's all kinds of diseases and shit in that food. I don't like cruises. I don't understand it. And then here's the other thing about cruises, all right? You guys, we don't have enough respect for the waters. We really don't. We do not have enough respect. As human beings, I think we believe that we've conquered the seas. We have not conquered the seas. The seas are just doing what they do. If the seas want to take you out, they will. And a rogue wave almost did that to a cruise ship yesterday. The rogue wave incident occurred during a storm when the Viking Polaris cruise ship was headed towards Ushuaia, Argentina, the company said in a Thursday update. It is with great sadness that we confirm a guest passed away following the incident. We have notified the guest's family and shared our deepest sympathies, Viking statement read, adding that 4 other passengers were treated for non-life-threatening injuries by the ship's onboard doctor and medical staff. The ship sustained limited damage during the incident, Viking added, and arrived in Ushuaia Wednesday afternoon. Cruise lines, we wondered if we hit an iceberg, and there are no icebergs out here. But that's how it felt, Susie Gooding, a passenger on the Viking Polaris, said. Everything was fine until the rogue wave hit, and it was just sudden. Rogue waves! It's not a rogue wave. That wave ain't rogue. That wave is a wave. That wave is just doing ocean shit. That thing, don't act like that's an anomaly and we didn't see it. No, it's the ocean. That stuff happens out there. I have no interest in being in the middle of the ocean on a floating mid-tier hotel. I have no interest whatsoever. That's why Rogue Wave is trending. Ugh. You want to go on a cruise? Let's go cruising. No, I don't. You know what? What's the cruise cost? $3,000? I don't even know what they cost. It's more than that, probably. I don't know. I don't even know what a cruise costs. But here's what we do. Okay? Let's say we don't go on the cruise. Let's say instead, let's take the money that we'd spend on the cruise, right? Let's go to New York. Let's stay at the Plaza for 4 days, huh? Let's stay at a really nice place in a city where our options aren't limited by the guardrails on the bow of a ship. Let's go someplace where we can just explore, where we can go. That's what I would rather do any day of the week. You want to go on a cruise? Hell no. Let's Miss Earth. Miss Earth is trending. Did you know Miss Earth was a thing? I didn't know Miss Earth was a thing. Apparently, did a little research on this morning. Apparently, the Miss Earth pageant is one of the big four pageants. Apparently, there's a big 4 pageants. You got your, let's see what you got. Miss Earth 2022. It's one of the big 4. What is it? You got your Miss Universe. Yeah, you got your Miss World, you got your Miss Earth, and then Miss, I don't know, it's probably no, I don't know what the big four are. But Miss Earth was last night. I'd never heard of Miss Earth. Although honestly, if we're comparing Miss Earth to Miss Universe is stupid. Unless you're going to have some aliens, unless you're going to have somebody from another planet, because universe, right? So arrogant, Miss Universe. You're not the most beautiful woman in the universe. You might be a pretty human for Earth, but you're not universe. Miss Earth was the okay. So the new Miss Earth is I don't know, she's some woman from South Korea. Yeah, some South Korean lady. She's pretty. Mina Soo Choi, Miss Earth 2022. Miss Earth was the 22nd Miss Earth. She's the 22nd. Let's see. Anybody else want anything? It doesn't matter. Anyway, I never knew that there was a Miss Earth pageant. I can't believe there's still pageants, to be honest with you. I can't. I mean, everything about what if pageants didn't exist? Okay, let's do it this way. If pageants never existed, there were no such thing as beauty pageants. Okay, and today, on this day, somebody takes a meeting with one of the networks and goes, I got an idea. Here's what we're going to do. Now, remember, there is no track history. There is no 100 years of Miss America, Miss USA, Miss World, whatever. None of that ever existed. You erase that from your mind. So you get your meeting. All right, I got a pitch for you. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to get a bunch of hot chicks from all around the world. We're going to put them up on a stage, and then a bunch of dudes are going to decide who's hot enough. Is this an idea you feel like you'd like to be in business? All right. No way in hell. No way in hell the pitch of a pageant gets greenlit in 2022. It's so weird. That's why when I still see these things, I don't care. I'm a guy. I'm a man of a certain age. A girl wants to get dressed up in a bikini and stand next to another girl in a bikini and go, who's hotter? I'll tell them. But I do understand in the existential that that's really it's not kind of the way the modern world looks at things. And whatever. Just seems so weird. All right, let's line up all the broads. Let's get them into some, I don't know. Can we put them in like their underwear? No, that'd be too much. All right, how about bikinis? Let's put them in bikinis and then let's decide who's the hottest. 2022. That used to be a big deal. When I was little, I remember when I was a little kid, I used to watch those pageants. I used to, and I wasn't like, oh, she's very articulate. I like her. That's not how I, at 11 years old, was judging the beauty pageants. I was looking at it going, who do I want to kiss? Which one of these do I want to kiss? I don't know. I don't think that's a thing that they do today. Student edibles is trending. Here was the thing. I hate this story. This story is so fucking stupid. Oh, you guys. Bunch of middle school kids got their hands on some edibles, and they ate a whole bunch of edibles. And then here's the headline. Check out this headline. Check out this misleading headline. I hate this. 10 LA middle school students appear to have overdosed on edible cannabis. The fuck is that? You can't overdose on edibles. I suppose technically you can overdose in that you take too much and you start to experience some slightly irritating, like maybe you're jittery. Maybe it's like you can't sleep, you toss and turn, whatever. Maybe that's something. But the way they make 10 LA middle school students appear to have overdosed. Don't you picture a bunch of kids in a cafeteria with white foam coming out of their mouths? And that's not what happened. A bunch of little kids who had never been high before. One of them panicked, told a nurse. The nurse had never smoked weed in her life and went, overdosing children. And now we've got a big story. It was edible weed. There's going to be no long-lasting effects. They're going to be fine in 5 hours. Jesus. Los Angeles. 10 students were evaluated Thursday morning. Notice they weren't admitted to the hospital. 10 students were evaluated Thursday morning after a suspected cannabis overdose. Not a thing. No such thing. There's no such thing as a cannabis overdose. I'm sorry, there's just not. At least not in the way that we frame the definition of overdose. The way we think of overdose when we talk about overdose is somebody who is in cardiac arrest or they've got foam coming out of their mouths, they're not breathing, they have taken way too much heroin, too many pills. It's not a thing with weed, okay? Nobody, you could smoke a hefty bag filled with weed in 24 hours and you're not going to overdose. You're going to just waste a whole bunch of weed because at some point you don't get any higher and you're just wasting it. But, that's a rookie mistake. A lot of dumb kids do that. Dude, I smoked like 15 joints. I was so high last night. Yeah, 3 would have done it, kid. Yeah, 3. After the third one, you're just wasting all of that because you're already there. That was so baked. You dumbass. And now you're out of weed because you smoked 10 joints when, if you really wanted to tie one on last night, 3 with your friends would have been way more than enough. Dude, I smoked like 15 joints and 10 bowls. Yeah, no, you didn't. Or if you did, you just wasted everything. The students who are 12 to 15 years old were found to be in mild to moderate distress. Okay, so overdose! Mild to moderate distress. What is mild to moderate? Okay, so these kids have eaten a bunch of edibles. And one of the kids, this happened because one of the kids freaked out. Like all the dudes were holding it together. They were like, man, it's like, you feel okay? Like, yeah, I feel really calm, man, and I just want to tell you that I'm really glad to be experiencing this with you. Oh, thanks, brother. That's cool. That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, did you ever think about the word syrup? No, man, I've never thought about that. Think about the word syrup. Syrup. See, that's what they were doing. They were just high, right? And they were just like doing that kind of stuff. And then one of the ones who he can't be their friend anymore. One of the kids is probably like, I don't know, guys. I'm not feeling so good. I'm going to the nurse or whatever. It was one weak link in the chain that ruined the whole thing. And then suddenly you got the vice principal and the school nurse, and they're standing there in front of these kids, and these kids are like, syrup. Right? They're like having fun. And then suddenly you got firemen. And I love the description. They were in mild to moderate distress. That means they weren't in distress. That means, yes, they were in mild to moderate distress at that moment because they realized that one of their friends had outed them and now they were all in trouble. They weren't in mild to moderate distress because of the edibles. They're in mild to moderate distress because they know they're about to get in trouble. 7 of them were taken to hospitals that specialize in pediatric medicine, while 3 others were released at the scene. So who are the 7 bitches that needed to go? Which like 3 were like, oh man, I'm cool, I can maintain. And then there were 7 that were like, I'll take a ride in the ambulance. Was that it? Chris Angel, the magician. Christopher Angel, 12-year-old Christopher Angel, told the wait a second. If Christopher Angel is 12 years old, was he named after Chris Angel, the A&E magician? Oh my God. Don't do that. Christopher Angel, 12 years old, told the Los Angeles Times that 3 people in his class were affected. They were acting weird. They were acting kind of tired. Is that weird? Because they're chill. First of all, the word isn't tired. The word is chilled. They were acting chilled. The school was searched for any additional victims. What? What did you think you were going to find? Check the cafeteria. If you're looking for additional victims of the edible weed overdose, check the cafeteria. The school was searched for additional victims, but all the students were accounted for. Parents were seen rushing to the school to make sure their children were unharmed. Oh, I hate the way this is written. See, this is a news story that is written to make it seem like it is far more serious than it is. This is not a serious thing. The incident was not fentanyl related. Okay, thank you, reporter, for inserting fentanyl into this whole thing because, dumbasses probably think that fentanyl is in weed. Stop it! Fentanyl is a drug that is used to cut and increase profit when you are selling cocaine and other cocaine-like drugs in bulk. It is used to cut the product. That's what fentanyl is used. You don't use it in weed! Okay? If fentanyl was in weed, you would have weed with white powder all over it. And you'd be like, I don't know about this. But this reporter felt it was important to introduce the fentanyl conversation into some kids who ate a bunch of weed gummy bears. The incident was not fentanyl related. Crews at the scene confirmed, but they said it could possibly be related to edible cannabis. Fentanyl is highly addictive and potentially. Stop with the fentanyl in this story. This is not a fentanyl story. I know that fentanyl connects your idiot readers to a whole bunch of other overly dramatic stories you've done on fentanyl in the past 2 years, but stop it. They're not the same thing. Hospital personnel will determine which possible substances were used. All right, so one kid needs to go, yeah, we ate a bunch of gummy bears. We ate a bunch of weed gummy bears. Connor over there freaked out and told the nurse, and now we're all sitting here at the police station. I like that story. I like the student edible story. I really do. Drew Brees is trending. Drew Brees is trending because he got hit by lightning. Or did he? Here's the deal. Drew Brees was trending early all day because he was doing, is it PointsBet? I don't know, one of these. Drew Brees was doing a commercial for one of these betting sites, and they were filming it. Maybe last night. They were filming it last night, and a lightning strike occurred, and Drew Brees was hit by lightning. No, that was the trend. That was going on. Drew Brees was hit by lightning. Drew Brees was hit by lightning. And then, he was hit by lightning, but because they're so caring, the gambling people who were creating, they had it on video, and they were ready to go with a viral video. That's right, PointsBet or whatever. Drew Brees got hit by lightning. Here's the video of him being hit by lightning while cutting a commercial for us. One, if it was real and Drew Brees was really struck by lightning on the set of one of their commercials, they would not be putting that video out there to make it go viral. They would be with their attorneys trying to figure out exactly how to mitigate whatever sort of problems are going to occur when Drew Brees wakes up out of his coma. It was a stunt. Drew Brees was not hit by lightning. In fact, he was shy. If he was hit by lightning, what a coincidence that he was cutting a commercial for lightning bets. That's right. That's the new thing that he was promoting. He was doing a commercial for lightning bets. And, and he was struck by lightning. Drew Brees was not hit by lightning. This is a scam. It's purposely designed to get people talking about Drew Brees being hit by lightning and then seeing, lightning bets is now a thing. All right, so there you go. That's why Drew Brees is trending. Let's see here. Sportsbook is doing a publicity stunt and released this fake video of Drew Brees to convince people that he got struck by lightning and potentially died to promote lightning bets. Yeah, that's pretty lame. Golf fight. Hey, how about a punch? How about a couple of... Man, I hate golf. I hate golf. You know what? Here's, this might be another thing like the Grateful Dead. This might be another Grateful Dead thing for me. I used to say that I hate the Grateful Dead. It turns out I don't hate the Grateful Dead. I hate Grateful Dead fans. That's kind of, I think that's because, I was like, okay, I shouldn't blame the music for this overall that I get when I think of this whole scene. But the music ain't bad. The music is not terrible, but Deadheads. So I hate the Grateful Dead, but I don't hate the Grateful Dead. Actually, what I do is I hate Grateful Dead fans. That's how I feel about golf. I don't know that I might tell you, I hate golf. You want to go golfing? No, I hate golf. But the truth is, I think I just hate golfers. I think I just don't like people who golf. I think that people who golf bring a whole bunch of baggage. I think that golf, if you're a golfer, I'm going to hit 18. I think that's a tell. That's like a poker tell to me. I'm like, you're a golf dude. Okay, I probably don't like you. You're probably a dick. Anyway, that's just how I feel about golf. But this story, this is a foursome I would have loved to have been in. Mississippi golfer bites off man's nose in argument over game. So this dude here, what do you see this dude? This is the way I'm going to show you this guy. This nose-biting golfer over a golf match. How broken of an individual must you be if, you're out there golfing. Here, this guy. Look at this guy. There he is. Look at him. He lost his shit. This guy rolls around his everyday life, in total control, seeming like a decent middle-aged white man. He's just normal. And all of these little microaggressions, they just build up so that one day on the golf course, somebody says he cheated and he decides to bite his face off like some bath salt ingesting homeless dude. Here's the story. Look at him. Look at him. I don't know what I did. I bit a dude's nose off. Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Folks, an argument between two men over a golf game led to one golfer biting the nose off the other in the parking lot of a casino, this according to police. Mark Wells, 51. Look at that guy. Okay. You know that when he gets into his car and he turns it on, it's AM radio. It's the AM radio comes on. Look at this dude. The minute this dude gets in his car, whatever the Mark Levin station is in that town comes on. That's who this guy is. This guy has been incrementally ginned up for the better part of 20 years, and it all came to a head on the golf course where he bit a dude's nose off. Just been little microaggression after microaggression. It's been building up. He's been ginned up by AM talk radio for the better part of 20 years, and he bit a fucker's nose off. That's what he did. He snapped. Could happen to any of us. Be careful. Mark Wells, 51 of Biloxi, initially fled the scene in a Tesla. Oh, he's got a Tesla. Very nice. Mark Wells, 51 of Biloxi, initially fled the scene in a Tesla before turning himself in to Bay St. Louis police. That's good. The nose was not found. So, I mean, he apparently completely ripped the nose off of a dude. He got the nose, and then, what, did he eat it? Oh, that's hardcore. You don't fuck with Mark Wells. That is hardcore. Like, what if he swallowed it? What if he just like he bites it out? I'm going to get in my Tesla. And then he just speeds off in his little Tesla. I'm raging. Officers responded to a complaint of an assault at the Hollywood casino Monday night, and they arrived to find a victim with disfiguring facial injuries, the statement said. The investigation determined that the suspect, Mark Curtis Wells, always got to give the middle name, just in case there's an innocent Mark Wells out there. That's why they do that. I don't know if you folks know. That's why the media does that. Why, like everybody, when they do something really bad, they always get their middle name, John Wayne Gacy, stuff like that. It's because if there's another John Gacy out there, they want to make sure that they're being specific as to this is. So, I'm sure that Mark Wells doesn't go around as Mark Curtis Wells, but for the sake of this, they're gonna put his full name in there. Mark Curtis Wells bit the nose off of a victim. This, according to the sheriff. Officers were told that Wells and the victim had been arguing throughout the day over a golf game they played. Wells was charged with felony mayhem and booked into the Hancock County Jail, where he paid the required 10% of a $50,000 bond himself and walked out within an hour. This guy bit a dude's nose off on a golf cart, fled the scene in his Tesla, spent a whole 45 minutes in jail. That's all right. Bit a dude's nose off. He bit a dude's nose off and he got bond. Whatever. According to the Biloxi Sun-Herald, Wells faces up to 7 years in prison if convicted of the felony, which state law defines as a premeditated crime committed with the intent to kill, in which the subject mutilates, disfigures, or disables the other. All right, there you go. So he's out there. He's out there in his Tesla, probably looking for a new golf club, because I can't imagine he's allowed back after he bit a dude's nose off. Let's see here. Karen abuse. Oh, here's another one. Hey, look at this. This is another people behaving badly. No, let's get rid of him. Sorry. Bye, Mark. See ya. You nose biting son of a bitch. Karen. Cops. Man hits store clerk over Karen comment. All right. So here's the deal. They're inside a Dollar Tree, which, first of all, Dollar Tree, if you are a fan of the dollar branded stores, Dollar Tree is the best one. Although, I've got problems with Dollar Tree too, because the whole point of Dollar Tree was that everything in there was $1. Everything. That's what they're based on. Everything. Not like Family Dollar, where it's like, is everything here $1? No. Hell, we got shit for $7 here. All right, fuck that. I don't want to go there. Dollar Tree, you walk in, they got everything. You get razor blades, you get soap, you get toothpaste, whatever you need, it's all $1. Not anymore. Everything at Dollar Tree is $1.25. $1.25 now. Everything used to be $1. Now everything's $1.25. Why? Why did they raise prices 25%? Because inflation went up 11%. Again, I'm going to keep pointing this out, people. Inflation went up 11%. That means they would be justified to raise their prices 11 cents. That's it. So if they wanted to keep pace with inflation, which is fair, the Dollar Tree should have raised their prices not from $1 to $1.25, but they should have raised it to $1.11. See, because that would have kept pace with inflation, and we'd all be like, okay, whatever, we understand. But they didn't do that. They raised it $1.25. So yeah, they are just making more money hand over fist. They're exploiting our understanding that inflation is a thing. Fuckers. So I do have a problem with Dollar Tree right now. They're raping us, and because they know that we'll go, well, it's just a quarter. It's just 25 cents. They know that we'll do that. And incrementally, one sale at a time, they are making 11 to 25, 14 cents. Every single thing they sell, they are making 14 cents more now than they were before inflation was a problem. Whatever. Just pointing that out. So let's get back to this incident at a Dollar Tree. A Florida man, boy, all the best stories start that way. A Florida man is facing a felony charge for allegedly striking a female Dollar Tree employee who called his wife a Karen during a dispute last night over grocery bags. Police were dispatched around 8:20 p.m. to the discount store in Clearwater following alleged battery on a 20-year-old worker. According to investigators, Genesis Sanchez Canales, the Dollar Tree employee, got into an argument with a female customer over grocery bags. The customer eventually began to videotape the victim due to the verbal argument. In response to being filmed, Canales called the woman a Karen. Okay. At this point, cops allege the customer's husband open hand slapped the victim to her left cheek. When officers responded to the store, they arrested Jason Allen Dobbins, 41. Holy fuck. This dude is 41. How old do I look? Oh my God. Look at this dude. Here he is. Yeah, he slapped a woman. He slapped a little girl. Little girl, little worker at the dollar. I'm sure his wife's a bitch. I mean, when you see this guy, you're going to be like, oh yeah, he's married to a bitch. She's probably a big, fat, gross lady. Not the fat makes you gross, but you know what I'm saying? She's probably just every bad decision in life is probably exemplified in her personal appearance. Here you go. Look at this guy. This guy's 41 years old. How is that a thing? All right, look at this guy. This guy just beat up a girl. He just beat up a 20-year-old girl. He beat her at the Dollar Tree. Look at the neck tat. You see the nice neck tat he's got? 41. That's what 41 looks like. Oh my God. All right. So that's why Karen is trending, because you don't call my wife Karen. What's her name? Well, her name is actually Karen, but I know what you meant. Cristiano Ronaldo is trending. Ronaldo. I don't know who Ronaldo is. I mean, I know Cristiano Ronaldo. I know that he's like a super hot soccer player. And by super hot, I mean like he's good looking. I can't picture him, but I know that I've heard women go, Cristiano Ronaldo is so hot. My problem with international soccer is that for years, I still don't. What is the difference between Ronaldo and Ronaldinho? Those are two different guys, right? Those are two different guys, and they're both really good. That would be like if in the NBA there was a dude named Michael Jordan and then another dude named Michael Jordan. You know, it's like, which one is one? Are they both good? Which one's better? Anyway, Ronaldo, 37, is the most prolific goal scorer in men's international football and has made a record 18 appearances for Portugal at the World Cup. He has been in 5 World Cups. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's been in 5 World Cups, so every 4 years, that means 20 years. So over the course of 20 years, he's appeared in 5 World Cups, and he has scored a goal in every World Cup. And I think that's some kind of a record. But also, In his day job, which he used to play for Manchester United, apparently there's something going on there, and it looks like he's trending because of Chelsea. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo is about to be moved. I don't know. There's terminology. There's like different, like we don't call it a trade or a free agent, transfer or something like that, contract transfer, whatever. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 5 goals in 5 separate World Cups, which is one reason he's trending. And then also because it looks like he's moving from Manchester United to Chelsea. There you go. Sally Field is trending. You know, you guys, a lot of times the name will come up and I'll be like, national treasure, you know, comes up a lot with when we talk about, your Dolly Partons. I believe Gene Smart has been anointed a national treasure. I believe, who's the other one that's a national treasure that I like? Catherine O'Hara, national treasure, even though she's Canadian, but still, we'll claim her. This next person is absolutely a national treasure. And I can't believe it. In the year plus that we've been doing this show every day at noon, I don't think we've ever mentioned her before. And I'm going to mention her now because she's trending. Ladies and gentlemen, national treasure Sally Field is trending. That's right, Sally Field. Forrest Gump's mom. Mom always said life is like a box of chocolates. That's her. Run, Forrest, run. Mom, Sally Field. Smokey and the Bandit, The Flying Nut, Norma Ray. Seriously, do I have to sit here and start reciting Sally Field's legendary career? Because I'm not going to do it. I could do it, but I won't do it. She's a treasure. She's an absolute treasure. Let me tell you something funny. So over the summer, I think I talked about this a lot. I don't know if I mentioned this aspect of it, but over the summer, I watched Smokey and the Bandit with my 13-year-old son. I just figured it was time. Yeah, it's something he needs to see. It's something that connects directly with children, boys especially, So we watched Smokey and the Bandit, and we loved it. Like, he loved it. And I was so happy because, I was worried that's from the 70s, and it's from when I was a kid, and I loved it when I was a kid. But is he, in this age, in this world, with this understanding of things, is he going to see this 1978, 77 film and go, oh, God, this is just so... No, he loved it. He loved it, which was great. But not only did he love it, but he turns to me and he goes, like, the scene where in Smokey and the Bandit, where Bandit picks up Sally Field. She's run away from her wedding. She's a runaway bride, and she's standing in the middle of the road, and Burt Reynolds pulls up and she gets in, and that's how they start. That's how they start their friend. So she gets in the car and she starts changing out of her wedding dress. There's no nudity or anything, but she's kind of a young, cute girl, and she's got a little bit of an attitude. So that scene, my kid turns to me, my 13-year-old son, never having seen Sally Field before. He turns to me and he goes, I think I like this chick. I go, yes, that is exactly the response that most people who see Sally Field have. I think I like this chick. I think she's kind of cool. I think there's something cool about her. And then I said to him, I go, because we had watched Forrest Gump, because he loves Forrest Gump. Although we've never watched, my son and I, we've never gotten through the entirety of Forrest Gump. We've never gotten to Jenny dying of AIDS. I think that would have wrecked him. The reason we can't seem to get through Forrest Gump is because we can't get past Bubba dying. When Bubba dies, the first time we watched Forrest Gump, we got to the point where Bubba dies, and he was probably 10 or 11. And he just turns to me and he goes, I just can't anymore. I just can't. And we can't go any further. We can't. So in our little world, Forrest Gump ends when Bubba dies. That's it. That's how it ends. And he likes it. He likes that movie. He likes that shortened version of Forrest Gump. But anyway, I said to him, I go, Sally Field, that's Forrest Gump's mom. And he goes, he's watching Smokey and the Bandit. And he's like, that's Mama Gump? I go, yeah. I go, that's Forrest Gump's mom. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, just like 25 years later, but yeah. So why is Sally Field trending? She's trending because she went on some show and she was asked who the worst on-screen kisser she's ever kissed was. And she said Burt Reynolds. She said, Sally Field said Burt Reynolds. She said that Burt Reynolds is one of her favorite people that has ever lived. And, her long 5-year relationship with him is one of the great loves of her life. But as far as kissers, Burt was not a good kisser. She was, she was also asked who the best kisser she ever had was. So if Burt Reynolds was the worst kisser, who's the best kisser that you've ever kissed? And Sally Field said, James Garner. That's right. She said James Garner. Oh, Jim Rockford. Sally Field says James Garner, best kisser she's ever kissed. And of course, Burt Reynolds, someone she was almost married to. The worst, Burt Reynolds. Love hearing that. Love hearing that Burt Reynolds couldn't kiss. Splash Mountain is trending. Splash Mountain, the historic, much loved ride there. Disney World? Is it Disney World or Disneyland? I don't even know. I don't care. Splash Mountain is trending because it's closed. Closed. It's not coming back. If you love Disney and you love Splash Mountain, nope. Shit out of luck. They're closing it down. They're going to redo it. What's it going to be called? Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World. Okay, so it is Florida. Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World will close permanently on January the 23rd, 2023, making way for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which will open in 2024 at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland. I don't know anything about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I don't know anything about it. I don't care. I've never been to Disney World. I don't give a shit about Splash Mountain. But people are like, no, you can't. Things can't change. Things have to stay the same. I'm made uncomfortable when things aren't exactly as I anticipate them to be. And I don't like to be made uncomfortable. And that's why I hate change. And I saw some other dude just this was a Twitter story. Some dude, of course, and you knew it was only going to be like 3 or 4 posts underneath the initial before you got to this guy. I bet Tiana ain't white. That's Tiana. It's being replaced with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I bet Tiana ain't white. Does that bug you? Does it bother you? The imaginary mythical logo on this ride, this children's ride, doesn't have the complexion that makes you most comfortable. That's right. Splash Mountain going away, being replaced by Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Let's see. What is this? Are we on? Is that it? Is that pretty much it as far as the stuff I've prepared? Oh, no. Here we go. Bartenders. What is this? Oh, it's National Bartenders Day. All right. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, today is National Bartenders Day. Tip a little something extra to your bartender. Be a little bit nice if you want. National Bartender Day 2022. World's coolest bartenders who've taken Instagram by storm. And then there's just a whole bunch of people. I love bartending. I would love that point. If I could, seriously, that was not a bad gig. I did bartending off and on for about 10 years. I loved it. I was good too. I mean, I wasn't like good. Like I wasn't like, what makes a good bartender? Well, there's a couple of things that make it. First of all, you have to be able to make a good drink. I like there were bartenders I worked with who prided themselves on they can make any drink. Like somebody would say, give me a Mac and Latitude Spritzer, whatever. I don't know. And a dude would just make it, I was more one of these guys that'd be like, what? What is it? Like they'd order something, I'd be like, what? I don't know how to make that. Like I would tell them, I don't know how to make that. You want something else? No, I really want that. So I'd have to go get the book. You gotta open a book, and I'd make a whole presentation. I'm like, all right, I'm making this, but I'm making it in front of you, and you tell me when it doesn't look. That's the kind of bartender I was. But I was a good bartender in that I kept it moving, and I kept the bar happy. I worked my bar like a talk show host. I had topics going on at this end. I would engage everybody. That's the deal. When you're a bartender, here's what your goal is: keep those stools filled, keep those people drinking, and keep those people with a reason to stay. And if that reason is, hey, this guy down here is talking shit about you. Boom, now you got something going. That's how it was. I loved bartending. That was fun. Bartenders. It's National Bartending Day. All right, and with that, here's the other thing about bartenders. you find yourself a dude, not just a dude. When I say dude, I don't just mean like, guys, males, people with penises. No, I mean, you find yourself dude is just bartender in general. Find yourself a bartender over 40. Bartender over 40 is the best bartender. Worst bartender is like a 22-year-old bartender. 22-year-old bartender who just the week before was a bar back, and this is their first week they've been elevated. I don't want to deal with that bartender. That person doesn't know. I want to deal with a 45-year-old man who is a professional bartender who has been doing this for... Hold on. Somebody interrupting my show who has no idea that I'm doing a live stream right here. Have to check on that. Hold on. I gotta let it ring through because I can't answer. I can't take a business call while I'm doing a stream. Can't do it. All right, let's jump on to Twitter. Let's see what's trending here on Twitter. See what we haven't missed. Still, man, we're still dealing with all this bullshit soccer stuff. Uruguay is trending, soccer. South Korea is trending, soccer. Cameroon is trending, soccer. Drew Brees is trending because he's not dead. He didn't get hit by lightning. Don't believe that. That's not true. What else is true? Splash Mountain is trending. We talked about that. That's still trending. I got nothing. Blazing Saddles. Why is Blazing Saddles trending? Oh, man, I could piss a lot of people off with my Blazing Saddles hot takes. I got Blazing Saddles hot takes, and absolutely none of them have to do with, it's offensive. That's not my hot take on Blazing Saddles. Let's see, why is Blazing Saddles trending? Blazing Saddles is trending if people only knew Richard Pryor rewrote it for Mel Brooks because Brooks thought the studio wouldn't make it because it was too taboo. Pryor made it way more taboo. Instead of trying not to offend anybody, can we just go back to offending everybody? Blazing Saddles. Okay, whatever. I don't know why. It's just randomly. Blazing Saddles is randomly trending. Are you ready? Are you ready for my Blazing Saddles hot take? And I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm going to look directly into the camera because I want you people to know that I mean this when I say this. Blazing Saddles is the most overrated comedy that has ever been made. Thank you. That's it. There you go. Moving on. I don't need to elaborate. I don't need to expand on that thought. Blazing Saddles is the most overrated comedy of all time. Thank you. There you go. Funny movie. See, but you said it was overrated. That's right. I said it's an overrated comedy. That doesn't mean it's not funny. That just means it's not the funniest fucking thing that's ever been made. It's not even Mel Brooks' funniest movie. It's like, I put Blazing Saddles, History of the World, number 1. I think that's his funniest movie. Spaceballs, number 2. Blazing Saddles, The Producers, is number 3. Blazing Saddles, High Anxiety is number 4. Okay, we'll give top 5. I'll give Blazing Saddles top 5 Mel Brooks movies, but I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of it. Blazing Saddles is the funniest movie ever made. No, it's not. No, it's really not. It's a funny movie. It's a very funny movie. Blazing Saddles, top 10% funniest films ever made. Absolutely. Blazing Saddles belongs in any congressional list of the greatest American comedies of all time. Absolutely, it does. Doesn't belong in the top 10, though. It is not a top 10. It is a top 100, to be sure, but not top 100. Yeah, there's been thousands of comedy movies. Okay, top 100 is good. Do we have anything else? I'm trying to see if we got anything else trending. Let's see, anything new happening here? Okay, All right, never mind. I just discovered something that I could do a whole nother hour on, but I've got big plans today, so never mind. Maybe I'll discuss that later. All right, folks, that's it. That's going to be it. I hope you feel like you're completely prepped up for today. I've told you all of the, well, for the most part, the non-divisive, non-political, non-bullshit kind of stuff. We've gotten through. Hold on, let me make sure we do this. Hold on. I'm distracted. I apologize, folks. I got a couple minutes ago. I got a phone call that I need to respond to. It's a business thing. It's a work thing. And then I got other people trending or texting me. I've got. I got to go run around now after the show. I got to go to the banks. I got to get money orders. I got to pay people for stuff. Then I got to go food shopping. I got nothing in here. You know what I've been eating for the last 2 days? I bought a Little Caesars Detroit style stuffed veggie pizza like 2 nights ago. I've been eating it. That's it. That's what I ate all day yesterday. That's what I ate all day the day before. That's what I ate. I need to go food shopping. Food shopping, bank, money order, return that. I got a lot of stuff to do. Now, granted, all of that stuff can probably be done in the next hour, but that's good. I'll do it all in the next hour. I'll get it out of the way, and then I'll be free. Mansplaining with myself and Dr. Robert Schwartz, taking your calls Saturday and Sunday nights, 9 to 11 o'clock on 97.1 The Freak here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Join us, won't you? I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. I hope you're well. How do you feel? How do I feel? It's a good question. I feel good. I feel good today. I'm still got the sinus thing going on. Went to sleep early last night. I don't know what the hell happened. Fell asleep like 11:30 last night, which is crazy early for me. Typically, I fall asleep between 12:30 and 1. 11:30, I'm like, I gotta go to bed. What did I watch last? Did I watch anything good last night? I'm trying to think if I watched anything interesting. I'm watching that King of Tulsa. You looking for something good to watch? You have access to Paramount? King of Tulsa, that's a really good show. There's 3 episodes. You can watch that this weekend. You guys can binge that. King of Tulsa is the new Paramount show from the creator of Yellowstone. Stars Sylvester Stallone as a New York crime boss who is sent to Tulsa to turn Tulsa into a mob city. And so Stallone is like running around Tulsa, trying to put a crew together, trying to get some scams going. It's pretty good. King of Tulsa, or Tulsa King. Tulsa King. You'll enjoy it. That's good. 3 episodes. I'm 3 episodes in. I like it a lot. All right, I got nothing else. All right, folks, we'll see you. Call in the Mansplaining tomorrow if you want. You want to hang out with us. That'd be fun. We'd appreciate that. Okay, bye, everybody. See you Monday at noon for more High Noon.